Sports Limelight Episode 4. Hello, Drew.
Hey, good evening, Bill. Air drumming to this song.
You're air drumming like
Woo!
Neil Peart.
Slap at the bass drum.
You have to. You absolutely have to. Well, this is a little bit of a different episode. It's going to be just strictly fantasy basketball talk, so let's get the music going for that there. We've used this one before, but I think, it's our fantasy standby. Every time we do fantasy, gotta crank this one.
I love Billy Joel.
So we had our fantasy basketball draft, the long-awaited buddy draft.
Oh, we did? What?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, you were there, unlike Mike, who could not make it, provided us a pre-ranked list.
Yes.
We were there, 5 of us buddies present, so we're going to go over the rosters, make some predictions. Any surprises in the first round? The first time we did this, we talked about the first round, how we thought it would go. Any surprises for you there?
Let's see. Well, Mike had the first pick, and his pre-ranked list had Kevin Durant, so I think that's a pretty solid pick. The top 3 could have gone Durant, James, and Howard. What do you think? And Blake Griffin. Those are the top 4.
Yeah, clear top 4 or even top 5. Couldn't really argue with any of them. And Durant's off to a terrific start, so as is James. So really no bad pick Mike could have made there.
And, first round, we had a trade. Holy cow.
Whoa! Who saw that coming? It was, it was between you and I.
It was, yeah. Which I think worked out for each of our benefits, I think.
Yeah, we got who we were eyeing. We got even... Had you stayed in the 5-8 spot and I stayed in the 6-7 spot, the same guys might have been drafted in all 4 of those spots.
You're right. Yeah, I think I was eyeing for Amari over Rose. So
yeah, so you might have taken Stoudemire 5th even.
Yeah.
So he fell to 6th for you. I got Rose at 5th. Then Kevin Love 7th for you. Russell Westbrook number 8 to me. I love what you've got with the centers here. You even took a center, Al Jefferson, with your 3rd pick.
Yes.
Centers are not as scarce as they used to be. I remember saying at the draft that 10 years ago it was you either get Robinson, Shaq. Or Elijah Wan, or you're in big trouble. And even then, 10 years, it was more like 12 or 13 years ago. Towards the end of Patrick Ewing's effectiveness.
Yeah.
Now that's not quite the case, but still, and looking at my roster, that's my number one concern, not having a good center. When you've got to throw a guy out there in every lineup who's only like a 27 or 28-point fantasy total scorer, you're going to have some problems winning games when you really need to put your best out there.
I agree. I'm the same way, just opposite. I am more top-heavy with forwards and centers. My guards are not as efficient or as point-scoring as I'd like to have, but it's what you get.
Yeah, any concerns there about Curry, Rondo, Jennings?
Not too much. I mean, Curry maybe because he was injured for quite a bit last season. So
a lot of ankle problems.
Yeah, but
he even started this season already. I think he
did. Yeah, he was questionable for the start, but he ended up starting. He started every game, so he's young. He'll be better.
Have you had a chance to look over enough to make your playoff predictions or rank the 6 teams?
Well, let's see. I would say Dave, he's solid. I mean, I'm playing him this week, and I was looking at my stats, and I thought I was going to have a pretty sizable lead on him because I had like 170 total, and he was right there with me at 150, 160. So.
Yeah. Updates as of today. You were 167. Dave is 152. So a little bit of a cushion, but he's certainly not out of it yet.
Yeah, and I know, first week is tough. People are learning the offense, getting their roles down, so to speak. So, but yeah, as far as draft, I did like Brad's draft. I liked his strategy. He got 2 third-round picks. So.
Oh, yeah, 2 second-round picks.
Sorry, 2 second-round, yeah. So.
Deron Williams, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, so it's top 4 that make the playoffs, correct?
Top 4, correct.
Yeah, okay. If I were to pick, I would say me, you, Brad, and Dave. I think.
Interesting. So you have Nick and Mike just missing out.
Then. I think so. Yeah.
Who would you put 5th?
I would say, well, depending on how Nick's rookies do, I think Nick has a slight edge over Mike. Mike's kind of got the veteran team. We'll see how that pans out in the later of the season. So
I give Mike disappointing 6th place finish as well.
Yeah.
I think he just doesn't have any guys here that really can make that jump to elite, and that's how you win, I think, is
Right.
yes, you get Durant, you get the best player possible with your first pick,
Mm-hmm.
but you need guys that are capable of becoming great players.
Right.
Like last year's Rose or Griffin.
Griffin, absolutely.
That went in like the 4th round, 5th round, whenever.
Right.
I just don't see that with Mike. It's a lot of older guys that I'll just pick a guy at random. 7th round pick, Paul Pierce. He was a 29 last year.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to just suddenly become a 35 again.
Right.
So Mike might struggle there.
Right.
Do you have a finals prediction out of those 4 teams?
Finals. Well, I like your starting 5, young and eager. So, I mean, you're always in it. I like Dave on paper, but I don't know. I don't think he'll rise all the way to the top. I think it'll be you and Brad. You and Brad again.
Wow,
Finals rematch.
I appreciate your confidence. I actually have myself just missing out on the playoffs. I have Mike 6th, but I have my team 5th right now.
Interesting.
I'm really not happy with what I've seen from the entire bottom half of my draft.
Okay.
The centers, I think, are going to dog me all year. Bynum's going to have to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He's hasn't played yet. He's suspended because so far Blatch not cutting it.
Yeah.
Hickson not cutting it. Tyson Chandler, I don't think he's going to be a big fantasy scorer.
Yes, he's surrounded by too much scoring there.
Yeah, fine defensive presence, but that doesn't help us that much. When someone picks someone great right in front of me, like Nick had picked 48, I had picked 49.
Okay.
Someone takes the guy who I like by far the most. I don't like to say anything because if I'm going to try to trade for him later,
Right.
I feel like I'm losing leverage there. If I say, "Oh, I had to have that guy,"
Yeah,
I really
yeah.
wanted him. But DeMarcus Cousins, I really wanted him at 48. Instead, I got left with Paul Millsap there.
Yeah.
And it looks like Cousins is one of those guys that he can make that jump. To, near elite status.
Mm-hmm. So who do you have in the playoffs and finals?
My playoffs, I have Nick and Brad as the number 1 and 2 seeds.
Okay.
It's too close to call between the two of them. Both a lot of guys with high upside. Brad just lost Brooke Lopez for about 10 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to give Nick the edge. But Brad still has David Lee, Andrea Bargnani at center. Can even throw Gortat in there for a few starts. So he'll be fine. I've got you with the 3rd seed. Curry, if he stays healthy, he should be good. But I worry about his injuries a little bit.
Yeah. That could limit him.
And you might get a lot more from Brandon Jennings, 8th round pick.
Yeah.
I see him making a pretty significant jump this year.
Nice.
And then in 4th, just beating me out for the playoffs, I have Dave.
He's got LeBron and some other people.
LaMarcus Aldridge, very good pick in the 3rd round, good center. Pau Gasol, 4th round, that's going to help him out at center.
Yeah.
With the Lakers trading Odom, Gasol might benefit a lot from that. I'm hoping Bynum will as well.
Right.
Steve Nash, I think Dave's going to regret picking him that high. 4th round pick, coming off a season as a 30.
30?
But, at age, 37
38, I think it's...
Wow.
Oh, yeah. He's about the same age as Grant Hill, right?
Yeah. I think you just can't depend on a guy producing like that for that long. And you don't want to be the one left holding the bag like we saw a couple years ago with, I think Mike had Iverson. Every year we kept drafting Iverson really high, and he kept coming through.
Yeah.
And we would always hope, all right, one more year.
Right.
And then he just totally dropped off the edge.
Speaking of grabbing a pick right before I was supposed to draft, Dave, number 39, I had number 40. I wanted Andre Iguodala, and he snagged him.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely give him the edge over DeMar DeRozan there.
Yeah. Well, it'll be fun. I mean, it's interesting. This fantasy started, so I'm excited.
Got a kind of strange 14-week regular season.
Yeah.
Going to be fun to see what happens. Well, that'll do it for this edition. Just a quick little jaunt through fantasy territory.
Oh, hey, wait, I have a question. Who do you predict to be in the finals in the actual season?
In the actual NBA?
Yeah.
Huh? This season is not built for old teams. Lakers and Celtics are going to struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spurs are going to struggle. I'll go with it. Even though Dallas looked terrible, I'm going to go with a Dallas-Miami rematch.
Yeah.
Maybe Oklahoma City or
there you
Chicago
go.
getting in there.
I see Chicago. They have revenge on their minds. But the last time we had a shortened season, the Spurs won. So
Ooh.
I'm going with the Spurs.
All right, Bull Spurs from Drew. Thank you for listening to this fantasy self-indulgent sports limelight. We'll talk to you next time.